Hello, everyone. We are back for our second semifinal series. I'm here with Smartest. My name is Bump, and yeah, we are here. It will be Boosted Animals Reborn versus OSU, I believe.
Yes.
Occasionally stupid underdogs. So yeah, definitely be exciting to see that. We had Peridot pop off in the first game that we saw him play. I believe it was on the Akali, correct?
Yep. That was correct. Saw some really good plays coming in.
Yeah, definitely exciting. Hopefully we see that Akali again, but wouldn't be surprised to see it get banned away either.
Yeah, a lot of good players on this roster. I'm really excited to see how this game plays out. Both teams are very, what's I'm looking for, synergetic. Is that a word?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think this will be a lot closer of a matchup, also in terms of the two teams that we have playing against each other.
All right, so we didn't do this yet, but let's do some predictions.
Are we
What do-
talking series predictions
Yeah,
or
yeah,
tournament
yeah.
predictions?
Series predictions.
Series predictions coming in. Let me go ahead. Give me just a second.
Now, I mean, as much as I like Bar, I'm going to have to say OSU takes it 2-0.
Yeah, I think it will. I have seen Boosted Animals Reborn play multiple times because I got to cast the February tournament they were part of. Demonius the God and Experiment 626 have great synergy together, and Hurricanes and Applause, like you mentioned, also a very synergetic bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Hurricanes is a former member of the OSU roster, so kind of interesting. It'll be fun to watch him play against his old team. So, fun stuff there.
Yeah, definitely be exciting to see how this works out.
Hmm? Yeah, and on the side of OSU, we have definitely a lot of hard, heavy hitters on this side as well. Dare to Defy being a Grandmaster mid laner, Peridot being an ex-challenger player himself. So definitely a lot of heavy hitters here. Like Comas being Diamond player, all of them being Diamond players across the board, Diamond and above. So it should be a pretty good game, I think. Now, that being said, what is your series prediction?
Yeah, I think I'm also going to have to give it an OSU 2-0 just because you mentioned OSU. This is the Ohio State team, so they are very well synergized together. They play with each other a lot. I expect these guys to just have a little bit better of a synergy than Boosted Animals.
Very well, very well. Now, pick ban phase. What do you
Pick
think
ban.
will be
The contested?
the contested? Do you think we will see Thresh the same way we've been seeing Thresh? I think last game was the first game without a Thresh.
Yeah, well, he's been 100%
He was
pick
banned.
ban. He
Yeah,
was banned.
he was banned
so
last game, so
100% pick ban still. Not picked in the last game, but still, a very highly contested pick. When we look at the, give me just a second while I get our op.gg's pulled up. But yeah, when we look at those, it looks like, my apologies, just being a little slow with this computer.
Love the 2D animated whooshes. That's so sick. You know what, you know what, Jake? You're so sick.
Okay,
What is it you're pulling up here?
I clicked the wrong one. I'm just trying to get stuff pulled up for
All right, so
yeah.
looking at the play style of both teams, having played against Boosted Animals many times myself, I think I can accurately predict most of the bands coming through. You're going to see, Lysandra band coming through. You're going to see most likely either a Zoe or Vel'Koz band come through. Either Kha'Zix Kindred. Kindred most likely is going to get banned. Kha'Zix probably be left up. I don't think you're going to see any bans put towards characters like Sion or anything like that. I think Thresh might still be contested, though.
Yeah, Thresh is definitely one of those picks. We've seen Applause pick it up in the game that we saw Boosted Animals play earlier. And even in the last tournament where Boosted Animals was in, I remember seeing Applause multiple times pick up that Thresh. Definitely a good pick for her.
Yeah, and I think the Comus also plays Thresh quite a bit. So I think it's definitely going to maintain, it's funny, we kind of called it in the beginning of the day. I was like, this Thresh might just be the tournament's contested pick.
This might be the hook meta. We saw the Nautilus come out and think of one game that we didn't have the Thresh, so it looks like it has been a hook meta. Didn't necessarily work out for the Nautilus just because he got caught out while warding so much.
Where's the
but
crank at?
yeah. Ooh.
I want to see some crank.
Unbench the crank.
Unbench the crank. Unbench the crank. I am suspecting a Lucian Braum coming out.
Coming out on which side? Are we looking at the OSU side or
Potentially the OSU
potentially
side.
OSU? Because if we look at, we do have boosted animals on the blue side. So I imagine we will see them first pick that Thresh if it's not banned away.
Unbank the crank. I like it. Unbank the crank.
Unbank the crank. Let's get it started.
Get it trending.
Get it trending.
Hashtag
unbank the crank.
Hashtag unbank the crank. So Peridot is a player who I have played against personally as well. Very solid player. Like I said, ex-challenger all around. I jungled against him. In the mid lane, I believe from what I remember, he was an Echo main.
Yeah, I do remember seeing. He's been here for a couple of the different community days that we've had here at Game Arena. So I've played against him before. Also, don't like playing against his Echo.
Yeah, he's a very strong player. So I think either an Echo. I think Echo, Vladimir. We're gonna see these sort of hyper carry style. I mean, Echo's not really a hyper carry, but
assassin,
in general,
bursty assassin, that kind of thing.
It's sort of the play style we're going to be expecting. Whereas for boosted animals, they're a lot more, team comp, like team fight based.
More standard of team comp. Yeah,
you're going to see Demonius on something like Vel'Koz or Lissandra, something like that.
Like a standard control mage, and then probably something tanky in the top lane, but with the possibility of something more
Posted it to
carry-oriented.
Twitter. Let's go.
There we go.
All right. So as we are just waiting to get into champ select, what about some tournament predictions?
Tournament predictions. Well, we just saw a very, I want to say a very dominant to, it wasn't necessarily dominant in the second game. Game one was ridiculously dominant. And in the other games that we've seen come out of Cat today, that first game was an 18, 19-minute win. So just ridiculous wins coming out of them so far. And it looks like they just are picking whatever works for them too, so that makes it even scarier. They don't necessarily have to pick really strong picks. They can just pick their comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were saying OSU 2-0, right?
Yeah, we're thinking that for this series, at least both of us, that's what we're predicting.
So moving that forward, what is the finals prediction? Is the finals best of 3 or best of 5?
Yeah, I think we're finishing out best of 3. Yep.
So best of 3 series, we're assuming.
Oh, this is a blind pick. We're gonna have to exit and come back in.
The crank.
They unbanked the crank.
Unbanked the crank.
Yep, they're gonna have to make a new lobby because this is a blind pick lobby.
Don't worry. These students of OSU went through rigorous processes to get into it, and they are in engineering programs, etc.
The future engineers of America.
These are the future of America.
Oh God, we're screwed.
So as we get the lobby remade there, I would have been down for some blind pick spice.
Blind pick, yeah. You just get the double Z matchup, and we'll be some classic Faker Ryu stuff.
Faker Ryu. Yeah, that's interesting, right? The fact that at one point that's
the OGN was blind pick, yeah.
Blind pick. And you could have things like a Z versus Z matchup.
See, when I started watching competitive play, it just blew me away that the fact that they ever had blind pick as competitive, it just didn't make sense to me. But that's just the meta that we live in now, where we do have the picks and bans. We didn't used to have any bans.
Right. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, what is your tournament prediction? So we're assuming that we have OSU versus Cat.
Yeah, assuming we have OSU versus Cat. I would love to say 2-1 Cat, but realistically, we've seen some ridiculously strong performances coming out of Five Fire specifically. So I do believe Cat is sitting in a very pretty place at this tournament right now.
So I think Five Fire versus Peridot will be a phenomenal.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting matchup. I would love to see like an Akali versus Zed. That would be
we're
really
definitely going to see
fun.
some spice.
Yeah, definitely going to see some assassins
Echo
in that
gets
matchup.
banned instantly.
Yeah, Peridot, you won't get to play that at least this game. Sorry, bud.
This is
Followed
Zoe
up by
getting
this
taken
Zoe.
away.
Yeah, preferred by Demonius there.
As these are pretty standard bans. I was expecting a Kali. We're seeing all Peridot is getting targeted slightly here. As I'm expecting either Lysandra ban or Morgana is an interesting ban. All right, they might be looking for the Lucian Braum, perhaps for real. Maybe a Thresh. Well, never mind. Thresh being taken away.
That's surprising. See the Thresh getting banned away when they have the first pick.
So Lysandra was left open. We might see a first pick Lysandra come in.
Yeah, you mentioned that is more common.
No, they're prioing the Rek'Sai. It's interesting. You know, Mike Oxmal is really, really on this Rek'Sai train right now.
Yeah, I do believe we saw him pick that up in the first game with some success, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, definitely performed pretty well on it. But it's just interesting to see them prio the Rek'Sai over someone like Lysandra, who fits really well into their playstyle, as we see the Sejuani being hovered. Most likely going to get taken in. And
ooh, Pantheon.
Pantheon
maybe. Make sure they didn't mess this up. I'm assuming, but yeah. Pantheon. Definitely. Ooh, no, it's a Pantheon Celia bot lane.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, Pantheon Celia bot lane. It came out in Griffin versus SKT in the LCK finals. It is absolutely ridiculous. What we're going to be looking for. Actually, I'm going to save the explanation so we have a little bit to talk about in pregame.
Okay.
But yeah, I love this lane.
Interesting.
As we've seen it across pro play, it has a 0% win rate in pro play just because
0%.
It hasn't been executed properly in pro play. I've gotten to play it a couple times in solo queue, and people don't know how to play against it, so it works really well.
All right. Well, the Caitlyn gets picked up, but no Morgana to pair with it. Expecting to see something like maybe.
You're definitely going to want to have something like the Alistar. Because the Pantheon is going to be... no. They did unbank... Okay, we unbanked the crank. I don't like it. I don't think that Bar knows that it's Pantheon
I tipped my hat. I tipped my hat to
I don't think they know.
No, they're doing it for the memes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Did I mention I love it?
Yeah, okay, one thing I do like about the Caitlyn that got picked up, Pantheon Celia works really well. What we're going to look to see is Pantheon uses W to get that stun, and it works really well in synergizing the follow-up for the Talia stun.
So Supreme Thresh, Pantheon Talia came out from BBQ and LS
versus
first.
LS, and that's why I know so much about the game is because LS was one of the casters on for SKT versus Griffin. So I got to listen to him explain that a lot.
I see.
Really interesting to hear it come straight from the source of the people who invented it.
Interesting. So Lysandra being banned away as a fact. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense to me.
So what we're going to look to see, this is actually going to be a Frostmancy Talia. So she's going to take the support item, and she's not going to CS. She's just going to farm and try to get the quest completed on that Frostfang, and then start CSing. All the bot lane CS is going to go to this Pantheon. And that will give him the lethality he needs.
Out of OSU, I'd like to see a Victor ban comes in. I think we're going to see Demonius default to Vel'Koz here. So I would like to see them ban a counter. Draven, are you sure it's a Talia Pantheon?
They're just hovering the Draven. Pantheon Talia. See?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pantheon Talia. Don't question me, Smarties.
Okay. All right. Now, realistically, again, though, I am expecting to see a Vel'Koz and Sion. No, maybe Poppy. Yeah, it might be Poppy Vel'Koz. Let's
just being hovered for now. Actually, we'll go ahead and get locked in. Very smart. We see Hurricane's hovering the cleanse right now. He may have an idea how that works right now because the cleanse is going to be very important in that bot lane.
All right, there's the Vel'Koz.
If you mentioned that Vel'Koz, we do see that get picked up for Demonius, which we have seen him, if not this tournament, I have seen him play multiple times before.
Right, absolutely.
Ooh,
and
give me the Kassadin. Give me the Kassadin.
That sounds kind of disgusting.
I love Kassadin. Ooh. Okay. Do you see the Twisted Fate? Not exactly the same style of pick that I would be preferring, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think the Kassadin would have done great into the Vel'Koz until level 11-ish. So I just don't think OSU... I feel like OSU didn't think that it was worth gambling for the level
Yeah, they have a lot of good globals.
Yes.
They have the Rise isn't really a global, but it's a good distance movement. They have the TF global. They have Talia who can move pretty far distances from her global per se, and again a Pantheon global.
Well, that's why the Talia and the Pantheon synergize so well together. Is they can both collapse. They can both get in with the Pantheon ultimate, followed by the wall. They can both get places very quickly to respond if a mid laner gets ganked or something like that. So that's one of those synergies that we'll be looking to see. Like I mentioned, we are going to see the Frostmancy Talia is going to be looking to start for that Spell Thief's Edge, move into the Frost Fang. Once she gets that stacked up, she will start building traditional Talia into like actually the most popular Talia build recently has been the Vel'Koz build that we saw Bjergsen popularize with the Glacial Augment. That has started to favor the Talia, so we'll see if she favors something like that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun bot lane matchup. I'm really excited to see this get played in organized play.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this mid lane matchup of Vel'Koz versus TF. I'm curious. I'm also curious to know, the Poppy into Rise. You might think that Rise has the complete advantage, but Poppy does have the tools in her kit to deal with the Rise, especially if she can get a wall stun off. A lot of damage comes down, and she has good sustain built in. You're going to see an early catalyst come in. You're going to see, some regen being built up. The Caitlyn Blitzcrank. So, given your knowledge of this Talia Pantheon bot lane, how does Caitlyn Blitzcrank fare into it?
See, I really like the Caitlyn. I don't like the Blitzcrank because you're going to be hooked. I would have preferred something disengagey. Like, that's why I said the Alistar. It would have been really good because the Pantheon is just going to be trying to land that W. And if you pull him in, it's going to be easier for him to land the W. And that sets up the W knockup from Talia. And after that, that's so much damage coming out of that bottom lane. You're probably dead.
Interesting. Okay. So you think Talia Pantheon just take over this lane?
I think that if they play it correctly, Pantheon Talia will carry this game away, at least the bottom lane. But like I mentioned, it is about execution. This is a newer lane that we haven't seen a ton recently. I don't know how many times that they've practiced this in solo queue. Like I mentioned, I've gotten to play with it a couple times. I've played the Talia side of it. I haven't played the Pantheon, but it's a lot of fun. Definitely, if Boosted Animals doesn't know how this matchup goes, yeah, and it's not a common knowledge thing. Like, you didn't know about it, because it's a Korean thing, and not a lot of people get to pay attention to the Korean builds just because being in North America, they play it.
Sure.
They play at 3 a.m. So thankfully, I work overnights at a hotel, so I get to watch all of the LCK games.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I at least have the audio running in the background. So thankfully, I did get to watch finals, so I have a very good knowledge of this bot lane coming up.
Perfect. And now the Rek'Sai being picked up. I really want to see Rek'Sai put the majority of his pressure in the mid lane.
I definitely agree with Supreme Thresh in the Twitch chat. Definitely depends on who gets level 2 first. If the Talia and Pantheon can get level 2 first and start a fight right away, it'll definitely be Talia Pantheon favored.
That's how a lot of
the power bot lanes work, like the Braum Lucian and the Caitlyn Morgana. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes moving in on to Champions Rift. Let us know in Twitch chat who you think is going to win. We do have very different team compositions getting picked up. Boosted Animals Reborn on the blue side and OSU on the red side. Let us know in chat who you think is going to win.
Oh, it's Cody. How you doing, man? Net on that Albion grind? So, invades. Talia Pantheon sounds like an invade comp.
Yeah, this is definitely an invade comp. It provides the same amount of early CC that the Pantheon. I'm sorry, that a Braum would.
Another pause.
Oh man, if someone's going to the bathroom again, I swear. Okay, yeah, we will be in just a moment. Hopefully, I mentioned how the Pantheon Talia might be played. I'm saying might be played because it's a Korean thing and we're in Plat Elo, so I don't know if it's going to get played effectively. We'll see. That's how it should be played. That's all I'm saying. So don't flame me if I get it wrong. Okay, we do have to start.
We do see the invade grouping makes sense. It sounds like an invade comp. It looks like an invade comp because it is an invade comp.
Yeah, especially with that Sejuani, so many.
Oh well. Also, I mean, to keep in mind, they might be stacking for the Blitzcrank.
Oh yeah, stacking for the Blitzcrank. They will be able to return very easily. And even with that Pantheon there too, they should be able to stack the Sedge passive up also.
Yeah, it looks like they're just opting for the safer 5-point strat.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting, trying to prevent a counter engage.
Yep. So we have a code in the chat saying only way Blitzcrank wins this is if he finds a really good QE combo onto Talia. Which,
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's not going to want to hook the Pantheon. If he hooks the Pantheon, it's just going to set up a stun for the Caitlyn.
You could, well, you could also put a trap. You could combo.
Yeah.
You could CC chain it. Oh, good damage coming down onto the Twisted Fate there. Looks like TF is gonna just stick around behind just a little bit. We're gonna see Rek'Sai start red buff. We're gonna see Sejuani start blue buff. Both junglers starting the bottom half of the map. See where they move from here. Both junglers opting to move into their the lower camps after, Kragas and Grobs respectively. Ooh, the geometry is strong with this one. Another Q lands from Valkaz. And a lot of good auto attack harass from Peridot there onto Valkaz as well, returning heavy fire. And Blitzcrank kind of playing a little bit back here.
Yeah, one thing we do need to keep in mind is if the EQ from Blitzcrank can totally get nullified by the Aegis passive for Pantheon. He will block an auto attack. So if he gets EQ'd and he has that shield up, he's not going to get knocked up.
Oh, well, Blitzcrank can also Q auto. But
Yeah.
There are definitely ways to work around that in particular.
Yeah, just another one of those things that you're not necessarily thinking of because how often do you play against Pantheon in the bot lane?
I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Do have a little bit of an early shove. Like I mentioned, we won't see Talia taking any CS. That will be all on the Pantheon in the early game.
Yeah, you hook them in. Always looking for it.
Flash E comes out. I'm sorry, that was the 50 caliber net rather than the Flash. But yeah, that's how we are going to be looking for this lane to play out.
Yeah, it looks like, as expected, Rice is going to heavily push into Poppy early on.
Yeah, it did take the biscuits, so we'll have a lot of sustain to just stay alive in that top lane for the Poppy.
Yeah, however,
Stun comes in onto this Vel'Koz, not a lot of damage, about quarter health, and a lot of very favorable trade coming over for Peridot.
Yeah, also, Demonius going pretty quick early on. You know, Peridot having access to those blue cards. Vel'Koz has no cards.
I haven't seen that Pantheon skin in forever.
I haven't seen a Pantheon in forever.
See, I play the Pantheon occasionally. I like the AP Pantheon jungle because he has like
that a thing?
100% AP ratios on his abilities. So
Really?
yeah, so you can play AP Pantheon and just his W has 100% AP ratio, so you can just pop people with it. You build Lich Bane.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just,
I'm not trolling. This is a thing. Yeah, this is the thing I do.
Like W auto, Q auto sort of deal? Or?
Yep, W auto, Q auto. Like, honestly, if you can, with the AP jungle item and the Lich Bane, you can pretty much one-shot people. And you take either Electrocute or Dark Harvest.
As we see Vel'Koz just trying to, Rek'Sai trying to shove TF out of the lane there.
Yeah, definitely worth trying in a normal game.
Yeah, Aegis protection being popped away by Caitlyn Auto. And overall CS-wise, I mean, pretty even across the board there.
And if we look at the gold, we do have Pantheon taking a little bit of early aggression in this bot lane. Does get hooked by the, does get hooked by the Blitzcrank. Ignite comes down, but will be just able to back out and not go down there.
Yeah, a lot of good damage though. I was surprised to see that much damage.
If we look at the combined gold in the bot lane, actually, we do have a favored gold lead towards OSU. Yeah, we do have Sejuani moving in. They do have Pantheon just trying to bait a little bit with how low health he is. They've gotta think something must be up. Thankfully, there is a ward on the side for Boosted Animals Reborn.
Yeah, so Johnny, this is the odd one strat.
Yes, yeah.
From way back, odd one would sit in these bushes for days.
Oh,
What
we
a
do have the
hook!
Talia getting hooked up. Rek'Sai is moving down. We'll go ahead and get the flash on Burrow onto this Pantheon. Will get the first blood, but will give himself up in the process. Ooh,
What a
fantastic
cleanse.
flash out of Caitlyn. And will be able to get herself out to safety. Twisted Fate coming in. We'll get the flash auto off. Fantastic out of Peridot. And this is the fight that OSU is looking for. Realm Warp will come in. Oh my god, Blitzcrank gets pulls him out of the Realm Warp. Will get the kill onto the Rise. And this is exactly what you want if you're boosted animals. Fantastic hook.
That was a beautiful play.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play. Pulled him out of the Realm Warp. The stun comes through. Lifeform Disintegration Ray trying to get the Pantheon. I'm sorry, the Twisted Fate will pick him up with the extra turret damage, but Sejuani may also go down here. Actually won't, just due to not enough minion damage. One more auto. Thankfully, Rek'Sai not quite 6 yet, or Sejuani would be going down right now. Pantheon here trying to perform, maybe perform a little bit of CC, but yeah, they are just looking to get both of their carries out.
Yeah, that was really impressively played by both sides. The Vel'Koz, the plays Demonius was putting down there, that was pretty insane. The flashes, the good barrier, baited it out, was able to drop his Tectonic Disruption right on top of the TF. Very well played. And I think we're gonna just push it in here. They gave Demonius Vel'Koz. Yeah, there were not enough bans.
Yeah, unfortunately, not in the first phase. Not enough bans to prevent that man from getting champion he's just really good at. One more auto, get the blue buff for the Pantheon. I'm sorry, for this Twisted Fate. We'll just be able to keep shoving. Honestly, that's the goal for both of these mid laners.
And
though.
we didn't talk about just how nice of a hook onto the Talia was landed by Applause there at the beginning, setting that whole fight up. Yeah, it was just a really nice play.
Yeah, so we do have just more aggression coming through, a little bit of a lead coming through on this top side. 7 CS for Rise, trying to get whatever. One thing I actually want to point out is the lead for this Twisted Fate in the mid lane.
Peridot is #1 TF in NA. Is that confirmed? I don't know about that. Oh, as
you see, that's what I'm talking about. We do have the Flash W coming in. Excellent setup for the knockback from the Talia. That's exactly what we are looking for to that Talia Pantheon lane.
Interesting. A little bit of an animation.
No, I don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all.
I wonder if he couldn't see it either.
Yeah, that was.
Because sometimes there are spectator delays where it's just spectator.
True, you're not wrong. Yeah. Small indie company. Oh,
yeah, small indie company. One game. No, they made that Blitzcrank Flash game too.
Oh, and Cho'Gath eats the world.
Cho'Gath eats the world, yeah.
So that was interesting. So basically, if you get caught, you're dead.
Yeah, if you get hit by, if you get caught, doesn't have the cleanse. Cleanse almost available. Will be able to possibly save themselves from that next one. But yeah, doesn't have the flash or cleanse available. Just gets popped. Demonius has to path to get away from the fan.
Oh, picks up the kill.
Oh my god, fantastic damage coming out of Demonius. And now we can't even, 50C range cup can't even move up because the support and the jungler are here trying to punish. Blitzcrank does not have the flash, won't be able to find a flash hook. Trying to find anything if they can, will just ult the minions to get the wave pushed in. Trying to get some damage chipped away from these turret plates.
Yeah, really well played by Demonius there.
Yeah, that was a fantastic kill into the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, landing the combination onto Peridot as Peridot tries and use Destiny to close the gap, gets locked in place, animation locked. Very well played. We really haven't gotten to talk too much about the top lane because, I mean, it's a tank versus Rise. Not much to talk about. Rise is going to farm up, Rise is going to get big, Poppy's going to farm up, Poppy's going to get tanky, and they'll see each other at 28 minutes.
Yeah, it's a more boring fight. More boring version of a wet noodle fight.
Yeah. At least with the wet noodle fight, you're like, oh, one might get the kill. Oh, the other might
Nope,
get the kill.
nope.
This is just like a, yeah, that was some
Yep,
damage.
they're both
from-
farming.
They are both farming. 10 minutes later, I can confirm they are still both farming.
They are still both farming. Yeah,
However,
he's
like-
just trying to take whatever little trades he can, but not sure what they're going to be able to do. We do have the Glacial Prison for Sejuani is available. We'll just take the dash off the wall, though.
Yeah, there's just bone plating being procced.
Okay, we do have Flash and Cleanse coming up for Caitlyn right now. Both summoners available, so if played correctly, won't die to that next engage, but we saw very excellent execution there from 50C Range Cup and 30
Oh, man, these plasma fissions have been so on point. Really got to give props to Demonius there.
Yeah,
Has landed most of them.
yeah, getting all the geometry done today.
All the geometry. You can tell he wasn't an algebra kind of guy.
Blue buff
Oh,
is
blue
given
buff.
over to Demonius. We'll just constantly be able to shove with the Void Rift.
Yeah, and Demonius is actually sitting on enough gold to pick up loot.
Mid is dead even in gold. Like,
Yeah.
literally dead even.
Yeah, they are actually
Actually
the
dead
exact
even. I've
same.
never seen
Well,
that before.
Vel'Koz has more gold because now he's going to get these minions.
Okay.
See, look at that.
So barely. Barely. For half a second, we literally had the exact same gold score.
That was actually pretty insane.
That was cool.
That was cool. Now, it's same play. We got the odd one sitting down there.
Okay, so what we need to pay attention to. CS numbers in the bot lane, 77 to 78 for the Pantheon versus the Caitlyn. But there's double support items, so like even if you are a little bit behind in this Talia Pantheon lane, the fact that they're even is pretty much winning this lane. Like the fact that they didn't get shoved behind.
Also running with the engage
Oh,
here.
Glacial Prison will miss. Does force the flash out of Caitlyn. Ooh, fantastic hook onto the Blitzcrank. They are able to find the knockback onto Hurricane. W Ignite will get him, but ends up giving over the Pantheon in the process.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Caitlyn trap wasn't quite put down in time, so wasn't able to lock J-Daddy Me Link in place.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Hurricanes, did end up blowing both summoners there. And like we mentioned, it is just a sitting target now. Ooh, fantastic out of Demonius the God. Lifelong
No,
Disintegration Ray
a
does
little
get
bit
canceled
early.
by the pick a card, and is just trying to get out.
Yeah, definitely a little bit early. Oh, Dare to Defy still on the engage, still on the chase there.
Yeah, Dare to Defy trying to get what he can.
Poppy's being pushed out of lane. However, we'll probably have a nice back nice amount of money to back on. Picks up Spectre's Cowl and Kiddo Gem there.
Yeah, if we look at the gold in this bot lane, cumulatively, the bot and support on the side of OSU have way more gold than if we combine Caitlyn and Blitzcrank. So definitely they are winning this lane matchup at this point.
Yeah, 8,500 versus the about 6,700.
The one thing that we do have to keep in mind with this matchup is the later we go, they do have the Caitlyn available on the side of boosted animals, so they just have much more seed potential available. We'll do those objectives a lot quicker and have more threat to the turret.
Yeah, they actually have an ADC, so as
Yes.
the team fights later on, that'll show.
Yeah, especially with the K.
Wow.
Was that a W or was that a flash?
That was a flash. a little bit of a flash.
I think it was an attempt at the flash W, but the recall
Yeah.
just barely completed. Feels bad.
Right. You know, sometimes that lag that never actually happened comes through. So as we see, Demonius now having a stopwatch available because we have seen J-Daddy put quite a bit of pressure in the mid side. Some of those like dive threats, things like that. I think having stopwatch is pretty important. A little bit of a lag there. We're back now. We see Peridot opting for the Roa route on TF. We're going to build a Lich Bane
Yeah,
next.
50C Range Cup is here. Not where he wants to be. Blitzcrank and Rek'Sai here to catch him out. Ace in the hole does come through and will go ahead and finish him off, but Talia is able to pick up a kill.
Yeah, Mike Oxmal does go down. Wasn't able to use the ultimate in time to get out of the damage.
Yeah, but 50C Ranch Cup, we need to remember he's the support here. This Kalia is fully stacked up on this support class. Lifeform Disintegration Ray coming through may be not enough to catch out the Twisted Fate. We'll get the stun onto Applause here, but Caitlyn is just free hitting these auto attacks. Peridot will go down here to the Pelt over Peacemaker, and that is just, oh man, a lot going down here. Caitlyn unfortunately goes down to this Sejuani, and this is the fight for OSU.
But Experiment does find a solo kill onto Alan Mazdan.
Yeah, was able to find that solo kill. Ooh.
I didn't even know he could do that.
Ooh.
I had no idea that was an interaction.
Did he cancel the W with the E?
Yep, that's right.
That's nutty.
I didn't know Burrow does that. All right, now Pantheon's gonna start running topside here. Does have Yomu, so the increased movement speed did proc it as well. Looking to collapse on Experiment 626 here. He's gonna get spotted by the ward. Oh, I don't know if he's able to back out in time. Oh, he's out! He gets out just by the hair of his tinny chin chin. Oh, man. Alright, as we have Dragon spawned, looks like Bar's going to try and pick this up before, or not spawned, the first Dragon was never taken, but looks like Mike Oxball's going to try and pick up this Dragon before OSU has time to notice. Demonia is continuing to put good pressure down in the mid lane. Has done a really good job matching against Peridot. I don't know if we were expecting this level of evenness. You know, Demonia's actually being up one kill.
Yeah, up a kill. Does have the Luden's Echo completed, but I'm not sure how much gold he's currently sitting in his pocket. 50C Branch Cup, not where you want to be. Ace of the Hole does come through. One more auto from Applause will pick him up, and now will be 50C Range Cup going down.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we have on the top side Poppy with Spirit Visage and Merc Tread. It's going to be hard for Rise to do anything against that. As we now have both Mike Oxmal and Demonius pressing towards the top side of the map. The Rift being the next objective on the map that is obtainable. Rise coming down, trying to get some vision. Could get collapsed on by Experiment here. Does get stunned into the wall.
Yeah, does find the heroic charge on the wall. Rise will be forced to blow the flash. Does have his jungler here. Sejuani is available. Rek'Sai does have to blow the flash to get himself out. After that, also Peridot is here to try to collapse onto Mike, but the Ignite will go ahead and pick him up. Dare to Defy is unstoppable with that kill. Heroic charge does pick him up. Realm Warp coming in. Ooh, we do have the Grand Skyfall coming in from Pantheon. Will find the Vel'Koz kill. And this looks like Shelly has decided to join the fight.
Yeah, unfortunately that was just a numbers advantage for OSU there. Though Var did manage to pick up the first tower in the bot lane, which is important. Oh, no. Second tower. I didn't notice that they lost their outer tower in the mid lane.
Mid lane turret was the first to fall.
But either way, clearing out the bot lane opens up the option for Hurricanes and Applause to move into the top side.
Yeah.
So it looks like top tower is
fantastic for Dare to Defy and 50C Ranch Cup to realize that they could take that top turret.
Yep. Really good play. They're really rotating really well with this Talia Pantheon. You know, you mentioned earlier that a lot of it is just how fast they collapse and onto these skirmishes on these fights, but seeing the Pantheon being able to ult on the back side of the fight, Talia jump into the front side of the fight and sort of pinch it, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. I can understand how. I can understand why it would be tested in Korea.
Yeah, definitely a fun lane matchup and one of those cheesier things that works out really well just because people don't know how to play against it.
I've been enjoying these cheese bot lane style things. The Sona coming in, and now the Talia Pantheon. I remember of when Alistar Rumble was once done. A lot of fun sort of kill lane bots. That
one of my preferred. Ooh, the cleanse actually came out early. Yeah, and that is Hurricanes going down. Just cleanse came out early before the CC even landed.
Honestly, though, even if the cleanse came out in time, I think he would have been dead either.
Yeah, there was just too much chain CC. We did see the flash get blown out of 50C Ranch Cup. Would have just Glacial Prison does connect onto Demonius, and he will just go down 6-0-6 on this Talia right now, and exactly what I described. This is just a Talia running away with all this extra gold.
Yeah, I just think it's a numbers game at this point. I mean, OSU always has a numbers advantage in these fights.
And that's the Talia Pantheon. They always have those ultimates available to get wherever they need for that numbers
They
advantage.
didn't even need to ult there, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying with the Rift Herald, the fight that took place around Rift Herald, they
Sure.
both used their ultimates to get there.
Right.
It was before they didn't have a chance to respond because Hurricanes and Applause were both in the bot lane taking that turret.
As all outers are now down for most boosted animals. Looks like another fight's about to break out.
Yeah, a little bit of a cheese bush here. Applause does have to get the flash out. Mike does go down here. Poppy trying to find whatever they can. Dare to Defy. So much damage coming out. Not exactly able to do it onto Experiment right now. Does get the knockback. J Daddy Milik does blow the flash. Lifeform Disintegration Ray onto the Rise. Trying to get whatever he can. Does end up going down here. This might be the fight that they were looking for. Boosted Animals able to pick up 2, shut down onto the jungler. Dare to Defy, though, does so much damage. Double kill coming through for him. He does pop the reverse wall and finds the triple kill onto this Caitlyn. Dare to Defy will go ahead and pick up a quadra kill.
Yeah, that is not good.
Yeah, like I mentioned, this Talia is doing so much damage, and it is all because of that extra gold that came from the lane phase.
That is not good. That's not, no bueno. No bueno. This is going to be really hard to come back from, right? You just went from like a 5K, 6K gold deficit to now all the way down to a 10 plus K gold deficit. This, I mean, with Baron on the map now, and this gold lead being available, like this 10K plus gold lead being in existence.
3,600 gold sitting on that Talia.
Yeah,
Gonna
she's going to go
back
over.
and pick up a death cap.
Right, at this point, Talia is now in one-shot territory.
Yeah, and we saw
Right.
her spend all 3,600, so if we pan back, I imagine, yep, death cap. Yep, fully bought a death cap.
Yeah, so she's now in 100%
One-shot potential.
one-shot potential
If
territory.
any form of CC connects, if it's the pick a card, if it is the Aegis coming out from the Pantheon, just so much CC coming out of this team for us.
Yeah, and they have a lot of single target lockdown as well, right? You mentioned the yellow card. You know, you have Rune Prison, you have Sejuani, who has multiple ways of locking someone
Yeah.
down. Then, of course, like, as you mentioned, you also have the seismic shove. So it'll be interesting to see.
I have one more of those cheese lanes for you before we have any more action pickup. Got interrupted a little bit last time. Yasuo, Sejuani, fantastic. You both proc that passive so quickly, and you absolutely melt through people.
Interesting. So, I mean, I'm surprised I don't see OSU sort of position themselves towards top side, towards Baron side, but instead
Yeah.
electing to stand as bottom half of the map. They must be trying to break bot tower before they look for the Baron. TF obviously being able to split push with his ultimate, though it's on cooldown for quite a while, being a little longer cooldown in League of Legends. You have the Zhonya's being completed on Demonius. You have IE Caitlyn, who is pretty far behind, right? Like last fight, you saw the Caitlyn doing a good amount of damage, but she's nowhere near where she needs to be as far as like a 23-minute Caitlyn goes, right? So at this point, if you're Bar, you just need to wait. You just need to say, okay, listen, we have an 80 carry. They don't. They have cheese kill lane bot. If we can funnel Caitlyn, if we can get a bunch of gold on Caitlyn, get her online, we can play these team fights completely differently. You know, we have a Blitzcrank, we have a Poppy, we got good CC, we have a Vel'Koz with true damage potential, we have Rek'Sai who does a lot of burst damage. All we need is to get Caitlyn online.
And I really like this. Oh, we do have the Rumwarp coming out of Rise. Just moving towards Baron. This will be OSU starting up to Baron.
Though I believe Boost Animals have the ward.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, they can't.
Rek'Sai is not even going to get there quick enough. If they do get the blue trinket onto the Baron, they take it so quickly.
This is not good for Boost Animals at all. They don't have very efficient ways of dealing with Baron minions. They have, you know, between Vel'Koz and Caitlyn, it's going to be really tough.
And I love this cheesy team comp that we did see with the Talia Pantheon. We need to consider that in a best of 3, if you can get one cheese victory off, that is literally halfway to like through the series. It's not a best of 5 that we see in LCS or LCK, where a cheese game, there's still a ton of possibility to come back. If they can cheese this hard enough, it sets them up very well to make it to finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Though, I mean, Experiment is starting to get pretty tanky here. So hopefully, maybe if he can get to a point where he can start taking through the eat the Talia Qs and eat the Pantheon Qs, and might get to a point where you're able to have Demonius and Hurricanes putting down the damage necessary for these fights. Because while they have good amounts of consistent damage, the only burst potential they have really comes from Dare.
We do have Experiment trying to get something onto Peridot. Will get the yellow card just to stun him up, and though he has magic resistance, so much damage coming out of this Twisted Fate.
Just have Kyler over here messing around. No, sorry. XYK.
XYK.
Linked it or leaked it? I meant.
Ooh, Hook almost connects onto their eyes. That would have been just not fun. Sitting at
Ooh.
0.
Oh man, this is not good. They're gonna gauge her up.
Yeah. Ooh, fantastic flash out of Demonius.
You saw them itching for that engage.
Yeah. Lifeform Disintegration Ray does come out, looking to just try to clear this wave.
Oh!
Ooh, fantastic. Will get the Ignite. Most likely will go down here. So many Zanyas getting forced out here. J-Daddy just trying to get out if he can. Dare to Defy is legendary. Almazedon is able to get that
This
kill.
is probably going to be
Yeah,
game
this
here.
most likely will be game. We do have the Realm Warp coming in, bringing in 2 members. That will be the Rise going down. And yeah, we do have Grand Skyfall coming in from the Pantheon, but there's just nothing Boosted Animals can do at this point.
That is game 1.
Yeah, that will go ahead and be game 1 in the books. Fantastic play and use out of that Talia Pantheon bot lane. Very excited to see that get played, especially get played effectively.
Yeah, I think this kind of sucks if you're Bard, because now you're forced to waste at least 1 ban to prevent the cheese pick.
Yeah, that's the Akali, that's the Thresh, that's someone that they banned in the first phase.
Getting through. Yeah, absolutely. So they have to now, unless they think, you know what, we got cheesed, we didn't know how to deal with it, unless they're confident that they now know how to deal with it, right? And they can say, you know what, you can take it again, we're not going to have the same problem this time.
If they can opt towards something like that. Like I mentioned in the first game, I would opt towards something more like the Alistar, or even, I wouldn't even go for an Enchanter support because it's too squishy. You need someone like the Leona, you need someone like the Alistar who's going to provide that tanky CC presence and just interrupt Pantheon trying to get in for that W.
Yeah, so, I mean, realistically, though, I feel like you say, you know what, we played against it 1 game, but that doesn't mean we're confident playing against it. I think they have to drop a ban and put a ban on Talia.
I think if they don't drop a ban on either Talia or a Pantheon, that we will see this get picked up again, and they most likely will lose to it again because it's not like they practiced against it.
Exactly. 1 game, I don't know how much you can call that practice.
Yeah.
But either way, we'll see what happens as game number 2. We're going to take a quick break for about 5 minutes. When we come back, we'll get to see round 2 of Boosted Animals Reborn versus OSU.
OSU, yep.
OSU. What is it? Occasionally
stupid underdogs.
Occasionally stupid underdogs.
Yeah, occasionally stupid underdogs.
All right.
Sorry about that.
5 minutes, guys.
5 minutes.
Don't touch that browser.